Welcome back to Pokemon episode summaries. Today, I'll be doing episode 13, Mystery at the Lighthouse. The episode begins with Ash bragging about everything he's accomplished on his journey so far, such as the Pokemon he's caught and the badges he's earned. Misty rebuttals, though, that he never really earned the badges, just being given them for free, and all the Pokemon that he had simply joined his team because of his kindness, with him not actually catching any of them. Although, he did successfully catch Pidgeotto. I don't know why she forgot that one. And Butterfree too. But despite Misty's failure of being accurate, this still angers Ash so much that he becomes motivated to go catch a Pokemon fully legitimately, running through the forest until he gets to a beach. This is where he encounters a Krabby. Ash's Pokedex likely informs him of Krabby's small size, giving Ash the confidence to attack the Krabby with only a stick, not even using his own Pokemon. This overconfidence obviously doesn't get Ash anywhere, as Krabby breaks the stick and bites his finger. Despite this, Ash still doesn't send out his own Pokemon, instead just throwing a ball at the Krabby, which surprisingly actually works. Ash actually caught a Pokemon legitimately again. Nice. However, the Pokeball then disappears into thin air, much to Ash's concern. But then, Misty and Brock show up, explaining how trainers can only have 6 Pokemon on them at all times. So with Krabby being Ash's 7th, it was sent to the place where Ash got his Pokedex, being Professor Oak's lab. This is likely because Ash's Pokedex is linked to Professor Oak's PC. The gang then spot a lighthouse in the distance and all excitedly run towards it, with Ash wanting to use it to call Professor Oak, Misty wanting it to have a bed to sleep in for once, and Brock wanting to use it as a kitchen to cook food. By the time they arrive at the lighthouse, it's already nighttime, and they direct their attention to symbols on the door, which showcase a whole bunch of rare Pokemon. They are then greeted by a voice on an intercom, which only agrees to let them inside the lighthouse once Brock suggests cooking for him, and Misty explains their situation. The doors open, revealing the lighthouse's dark interior, and also revealing that it was empty somehow, with the voice being nowhere to be found. After exploring, all they can find is a computer that has the ability to phone Professor Oak. When Ash phones Professor Oak, with the voice's permission, he's making dinner, but still talks to Ash about his Krabby, informing him that he's safe. He also notes, though, how Gary, who had already caught 45 Pokemon by this point, also caught a Krabby, and it was much bigger than Ash's. Much to Ash's frustration, as he realizes that maybe he's not as good as he thought. Ash then informs Professor Oak that he's calling from a mysterious lighthouse, with Oak revealing that the lighthouse belonged to a researcher named Bill, who was even more skilled than Oak was. When Oak suggests having Bill give them a lecture on Pokemon, falsely assuming that they must be in contact with him since they were in this lighthouse, a Kabuto who can seemingly speak English accepts the request. Ash and his friends are rightfully frightened at first that a Pokemon could talk, but it's then revealed that the Kabuto is actually just a costume made by Bill, with Bill explaining he's been stuck in it for hours, presumably trying to experience what it was like to actually live as a rare Pokemon such as Kabuto. He gets Ash to assist him in taking off his costume, revealing that he was in fact a human. Bill begins his lecture like he promised Oak, explaining how there's over 150 Pokemon, including many very rare ones, which are the ones that he liked to study, namely the prehistoric Pokemon such as Kabuto, Ammonite, and Aerodactyl, that had all since gone extinct from long ago. He then further explains that there's one Pokemon that he wants to study even more than the prehistoric ones, which he claims is the biggest ever, and has only ever been told about in stories, not being seen by anyone. Meanwhile, Team Rocket are spying on the lighthouse, planning to steal any rare Pokemon that Bill might have inside. While performing their motto, they come up with the idea to sneak up on Bill's lighthouse by scaling the cliffs as opposed to just walking up there. Back with the gang, Bill has taken them up to the lighthouse's observation deck to show them the ocean, explaining that he once heard a loud cry coming from deep in the ocean, believing it to be from the Pokemon he was looking for. He further explains how he recorded the sound and has been playing it back from this observation deck in order to try and lure the Pokemon back here so he could study it. Coincidentally, Bill then hears this same sound once again as he sees the Pokemon approach. Team Rocket also sees the Pokemon approach and is in awe at its size, as well as by how beautiful its cry sounds. Bill then takes action, playing the sound that he recorded through the lighthouse's loudspeaker in order to draw Dragonite closer. Unfortunately, all the sound really does is make Brock and Misty dance to it, because Team Rocket starts attacking the Dragonite, firing fucking bazookas at the thing. Who knows where they got those fucking bazookas, right? The Dragonite then gets angry, as anyone would after being harmed by bazookas, and starts destroying the lighthouse, much to Bill's panic. Dragonite continues its rampage by destroying Bill's beacon and sending Team Rocket blasting off. Ironically, Team Rocket's bazooka plan led to their downfall here. Dragonite calms down, having reprimanded its attackers, so Bill asks it to stay so he can study it. But Dragonite declines, simply leaving far away in the ocean yet again. The next morning, Ash and the gang decide that it's time for them to continue on to their journey as they say goodbye to Bill, who explains that he was happy that he just got to see Dragonite one more time. Probably just happy to be able to prove that he wasn't going insane, actually having other people see Dragonite for once. As for Team Rocket, they ended up back on the beach, pissed off. Suckers. Why the fuck did you fire those bazookas? And once again, where the fuck did you get them?